Yeah, look, I think probably less so than in the past. There's certainly a lot more awareness about it. We hear it in the news, and obviously, I've got my AFL poster on the wall behind us. I mean, we've even had AFL careers and rugby league careers cut short because of the awareness of multiple concussions on future sort of brain health. So, we regularly see people, at least on a monthly basis, and sometimes some weeks where we've got a few cases a week that are coming in to help manage the longer term vision impacts on concussion. But I still do think there's probably still not quite enough awareness, and certainly down in what concerns me is I'm not sure if there's enough awareness in kids' sports and things like that at this stage. I still think that's still some work to do.
Yeah, as we head into the footy finals season, it's probably good timing to have this discussion about concussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, so what exactly is concussion, and why doesn't it show up in a brain scan sometimes?
Yeah, well, it's actually a mild form of brain injury, but think of it more like a bruise rather than a whole area of the brain that might be taken out that might occur in a disease or a more serious head injury or having a stroke. It's where the axons in the nerve fibers get stretched and the metabolism changes. So it's this sort of, they call it axonal shearing, but it's not this sort of localized point of damage that will sort of show up in an MRI or a CT scan. And that's where I think part of the issue of the recognition comes from, is that if you rely on medical imaging to sort of pinpoint a diagnosis, concussion just never show up. You're reliant on history and symptoms.
So the brain is like a very sort of I'm going to say almost fluid bodily organ. So it's something that wasn't meant to be smacked around and suffer impacts, was it?
Yeah, and it's actually the brain hitting the inside of the skull that causes the concussion. That is the concussion, the mild brain injury.
So what are some of the most common causes of mild brain injury then?
Probably the most common one is falls. I guess we're sort of quite familiar with sporting injuries, as we were sort of discussing earlier. Something falling out of a cupboard, hitting on your head, walking into a door frame, walking into a door. But the biggest one is probably falls.
What about car accidents? I mean, even most people wear seatbelts these days, fortunately. But even having that, could you still experience some type of concussion?
Yeah, look, and it's probably coupled with a whiplash injury. You still got that kind of movement backwards and forwards, and as much as airbags might save lives, doesn't mean you're not going to get a concussion or other injuries out of it. You're just less likely to have a fatality.